We are back in the building or the field. Depends how you want to look at it.
Look at those ghostly shadows.
We took an extended break.
I'm trying to lose you there.
It was pure mistake. It's one of those things with YouTube. If you ever want to start or ever looking to start again, once you stop, it's really hard to get back in. Do you know what I mean?
It's like the whole, what was it, Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop. Once you stop,
yeah,
you can't be.
You know when you get in the sea and you're really warm and you don't want to get out again, but when you get out again, you don't want to get back in again.
True story.
Yeah.
It makes no sense, but I totally feel what you're saying. We are at a boot sale.
We are.
We have a lot of. We've banked a lot of footage recently, haven't we, Bethany?
We've been banking it so that you are going to have just back to back banked banter.
Oh yeah, well I suppose you could call it that. You could call us bankers.
Bankers. On this rail, we found this piece. This is a diffusion line, an older diffusion line from Max Mara. Because they have 20,000 of them.
They do. This is a lot less known, isn't it, this brand?
Yes, I call it Pinaforte, but it's probably not that at all.
Well, someone's shouting in the comments, surely. It's not a problem either way.
This was a really nice tailored blazer. I actually like how low the button is. It gives a plunge, you know?
Love a plunge, me.
Yeah. Fully lined.
When you say plunge, you mean the neckline, don't you?
Yeah, it's a nice blazer. It's not something that we need at the moment. And
we actually have quite a few pieces of Max Mara, and a lot of the stuff we have is full line. So the diffusion lines obviously are technically, majority of them, unless they're standard piece, are less than usually. So we try not to pick as much up.
Austin stumbled upon this store.
I found this has caught my hat. This caught my hat. This caught my attention first. It's a Breitling, as in Breitling watches. It's a customer hat. When I say customer hat, it's given as a promo piece, either to a customer or indeed if you kind of go to a trade show or something along those lines.
We're going to look at it up close in a minute.
Well, matching that hat, which the gent mentioned as I was perusing, was this. Well, he's actually holding a keyring. These glasses, which is actually quite funny, he just put these glasses in there and they were just kind of, or maybe whoever had it before put the glasses in there. Yeah. This is a vintage looking Oakley clamshell style, I guess you'd call it a sunglasses case.
That's exactly what you would call it, yes.
Yeah. Do you know why you call it that?
Because that's what its function
is. That's literally what it is. It has obviously the large logo. They did these from the kind of the early 2000s, the 90s were really popular, and they've retroed them, if you will. I'm now holding. There was a lot going on in this store.
Yeah, that's why we did an extra video that people are going to enjoy in a minute.
Okay, well, you keep bigging that up. They were Versace cufflinks. The ones at the top, they're the ones with the silver logo, are counterfeit. I mean, just the box itself is, whatever. The ones I'm holding aren't. So sometimes, like we've said it before, sometimes you have counterfeit pieces with genuine, because sometimes people don't know. Maybe they're gifted, maybe they're not. Maybe they do know and they're just trying to be cheap. Whatever it might be. I think we basically had a deal on everything. So once again, Versace cufflinks, they're actually Medusa head, which you'll see slightly later in more depth, as Bethany said. There's a Breitling cap. There's also the Oakley sunglasses case. I said he can keep the sunglasses. I didn't want those. And there was the keyring as well, which matched the cap.
Meanwhile, while Austin was making this deal with a Sentry, I was down the road looking at some trainers all by myself, which is quite adventurous for me. And we'll split over to that scene, that rare scene of independence. I said little to get to get you. Yeah.
That's the rare scene of independence.
She's like the heavy pigeon.
Yeah.
We'll talk about those after this. The hand model in this scenario.
I was just going to say, so here we are, but you just kind of, you got in there before me.
I didn't want to confuse the people because you were going to do the talking, but then it's my hand, so I just didn't want them to make the mistake that, we had done some interlocking, jumping through body situation.
Oh, I would think they were concerned about that, really, more than anything else.
Talk to us.
These are Versace Medusa head cufflinks. They're actually what you call a fixed cufflink, so they kind of fit through. You push it through
like a dumbbell.
Exactly that. That's literally what they are. You push it. Sometimes with cufflinks, you clip them flat and then you poke them through and then unclip them to kind of make them stick, if you will, or stay. These you literally just kind of feed through and kind of pop it through the hole. They work perfectly. Retail on those would
200 bills. They're quite expensive.
I understand that. You don't have to shout at me. You got to get excited.
I thought they'd be like 175. They're quite expensive. They can do 200 to 300. So I'm going to aim for 150.
Specifically the Medusa head made as well, because once again, that's the kind of main iconic
Logo.
Versace logo. This is, as I said in previously in the video, this is a Breitling keyring. This is, well, once again, would have been...
Explain what Breitling is for people that don't know.
Breitling make great watches. They're kind of like, I guess, mid-range luxury. Watches can start from around about, actually I said mid-range, maybe like 3,000 onwards now, depending on what kind of model. And they go up to tens of thousands, depending on what particular model. Either way, they're very, very popular, and so is their kind of their merchandise and any of their gifting stuff. Once again, this is a box keyring. I would expect about £100. There's a few listed, slightly. There's a slight variation on some of them, but they're around about $130 to $150 a piece. This is an Oakley pill style sunglasses case. I would be looking to get 25 to 30 for this. A great piece. They make a slightly larger one, which is the kind of one everyone wants, from the kind of late 90s, early 2000s, which looks like a vault. That's the one you really want. That goes from maybe 100, maybe to 120. This is a cap, same kind of thing as the keyring, something sometimes you either give them a promotional item or to a buyer of a watch in some circumstances. Once again, it said not for sale there, so once again, it would have been gifted in some form or fashion. The reason this also has a price and a barcode or a QR code with 00, a lot of retailers, especially high-end retailers, if they're giving gifts away, it has to come in as stock, but to stop things getting stolen or getting lost or no one seeing just how many pieces of each item they have in store. The price obviously is 0 because it won't go against their...
Are you telling me they don't put them on the shop floor for £0?
I am indeed, but it won't go against their stock. No, but some people would be like, why does it have a price for 0? Would you have known that if you went in high-end retail?
Maybe.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Back to the boot sale.
Back to the boot sale.
I found some shoes.
What'd you find?
I found these Salomons. I got to get used to saying that because I always say Solomon. I know it's incorrect.
Yeah, I kind of do as well.
These are Salomon. I can't remember. They're called streetwear, I think. Street cross, that's close enough. These are the ones I say the cool kids wear. You know, with a pulled toggle and they got like the coloured bit on the front.
There was actually a guy at this boot sale wearing the exact same ones, and he was quite a cool,
funky shops.
He was very gorp-core.
Yeah, but like I think even the cool kids are wearing them now, like the hipsters.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Anyway, so these would retail for about 140 to 150 off the top of my head.
Apart from it, like there was some sole cleaning, but the actual soles were mint condition in themselves.
Yes.
Insides were nice condition, so these will go for.
I would hope him to get about 50 to 60 for these ones. And then they also had some ladies ones, which are lesser. I would say these ladies ones are
When you say lesser, so you mean a lesser model?
Yeah, I would say they're more like your starter trainer.
Okay.
Like your 60 to 70
I think they're called
retail.
Trialsters too.
Yeah, they call them hiking trainers. Anyway, I would expect, because they're very clean, 30 to 40. But we're gonna throw them over onto Poshmark and see how they go. We just sold a pair of Solomon hiking trainers in our Poshmark live show, in case you missed that. And they sold on there for 35 off the top of my head.
I want to say it's between 35 and 37, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so they started at £5 and you can enter your bids and see if you can get lucky. And someone grabbed a bargain.
They did indeed. There was actually a real cool piece of Lee Jeans workwear. It was Lee workwear. That kind of short jacket in black. It was just they were looking for a little bit too much, in my opinion, at least. Also, if anyone who doesn't know, that Nike track jacket, then it was from Oregon. I think it's Oregon. I want to say Oregon Ducks. I think it is the Ducks. Either way, Oregon is the home team. Obviously, Nike is based out of Oregon. So, like, there's some real exclusive stuff which they make every year. Nike do.
They do trainers, don't they?
They do indeed. For the Oregon team. So some of those pieces, even if they're more generic pieces, which are kind of sold everywhere, more general release, they still they will get a higher value than some of the other generic kind of teams, if you will.
You know, when there's one store that is just like A1. Just the whole...
I mean, look at the lady. It's vibes. Yeah.
Like, everything on the rail was absolutely banging.
Top notch.
If I could have bought everything, I would have. We bought a lot.
We bought a lot of it.
Instead.
So much that we actually transferred via bank.
Yes. So this is a COS top. At the time, I talk about it in a later clip. I actually thought it was black faded, but it's brown. So goodness for that. So we picked up that COS top, which we'll show you later. This piece I'm holding is actually by an independent Somerset designer that I just so happen
local to us,
know
actually.
of, because they're quite local. Their stuff is fully sustainable, and they make them from offcuts of older or vintage fabrics. But there isn't a mass appeal for it because they're still very independent, even though the price tag is high. I did actually go back and I actually got it for myself in the end.
You did indeed. They have like an artisan studio where they kind of make these things, don't they? It's kind of a piece at a time.
If you're local to the area or visiting, they normally have a stall at Froome Independent, which is a big old street market.
It's one of the best. It's one of the best vintage markets, actually. I would say.
Yeah, they have
in
like
Somerset.
a flea section if you're looking to thrift or artisan makers, etc. Found some vintage workwear. It's giving a French chore vibes.
These are really, really cool. Side note, Double RL, Ralph Lauren's kind of high line of workwear, if you will, or Western wear, but predominantly they bring out workwear the last few seasons. They have stripes everywhere, so I think that will help that keyword-wise.
It's a really classic. I should look it up, really, when that stripe came in. This was a Uniqlo collaboration piece. My goodness me. This is a Bimbo and Lola coat. I'm going to show you all these things up in closer detail in another shot, because I realised that we were giddy as giddy things.
Well, what happens when Bethany goes...
Picking and throwing.
Bethany goes rail crazy. That's what happens, isn't it?
I wouldn't say rail crazy.
I'm doing what I do. I'm entertaining the crowd, okay?
Yeah.
And you just kind of get down and work it.
But if you're interested to see sizes and prices, then they will be in the upcoming clips, and you can see exactly what we did decide to pick up in the end. They had a lot of unbranded pieces, but they were giving Lagen, giving studio wear. I'm gonna make that up. What? I was just thinking about that thing I was holding and thinking it reminds me of studio pottery.
Yeah, very much so.
Vibe. Well, I'm going to call it studio wear.
Studio wear, I like that.
So you know when I say artist wear?
Artist, yeah, like an art teacher.
Yeah, I'm going to call it studio wear. Officially coined, trademarked as of today. If you use it, you have to pay me £5.
Okay, I'm not sure how that legally binding that is.
It is. It's by word, like a spit and shake.
Can I get kind of a deal on that where maybe it's like less than £5?
For you, mates rates, £2.50.
Sweet, done.
Anyway, so I picked up quite a few pieces from this stall, and I was very happy with that. Sometimes it only takes one stall, sometimes it takes a couple stalls. That was a really nice velvet COS piece.
Yeah, that's actually really nice. You can't really see how deep the velvet is there, but it kind of, it's one of those, there's velvet, and that, my friend, is luscious, deepest, glossiest, sheen-esque velvet.
We also found a few unusual brands such as Damson Madder, which they do retail on ASOS. But it was given utility workwear vibes. I'm trying really instinctively to shop at the moment and pick up garments based on shape, style, fabric composition that fit in with my sort of brand ethos.
I think that's a good way.
Not that I have a brand in terms of like.
No, a personal brand. What you're saying is what we pick up as luxury pickers. If it's not a luxury item, what we're looking to pick up is definitely
luxury style.
Yeah,
so it would be
exactly that,
and universal and transitional with luxury items.
100%. I looked at this dress as well. Funny enough, there was no labelling at all. Was there?
Which one was that?
This linen
one.
It's
like a linen.
And you know the mad thing is when we went back later, there was a lady looking doing the exact same thing.
Yeah,
when you went back to get the jumper.
The lady did add things throughout the day, so we went back and got a little bit more in a minute. So I just wanted to show you these clothes that we picked up, the labels close up, because I know you couldn't see like fully in that clip. It still does have remnants of field on it, so we haven't processed it yet, so which is very unlike us to show you in the state, but I wanted to show you the labels and things like that. So this is Bimbo and Lola. A lot of people pick up Bimbo and Lola. It's a very popular brand. Resale doesn't go too high, but it sells through quite well for me. But this piece is exceptional. So it's a newer label. It's a size small, but it's very oversized. It's a navy blue and black, so ink and black I always say, velvet padded duster coat. It's like really voluptuous. It's really like ASMR-y. And I've seen comps for these go with what I would call not great pictures. Having great pictures is all part of the marketing of the piece and the marketing of the advert. So I It sounds funny saying that you can get extra money for good photos, but you literally can, because you're advertising the piece in a better light. If yours looks better, looks like it's coming from a great home, etc., so on and so forth, shop, store, then people are more likely to buy, and that is why big companies have catalogues and shop display windows, etc. But they've been selling these for about 100, and we're going to push a little bit higher, 120, just because our colourway in the navy is, I think, particularly nice. I just think it's a nice, well-rounded piece, and I'm very happy with that. So 100 for that one. Next up is a Sandra Rhodes piece. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This is at Fifth Avenue piece, so it would have been from a capsule collection there. It is vintage, it's double-breasted, it's sort of, I think it's just cotton, but it's giving linen, but you've got these nice sort of double lapel style details, obviously all the original buttons in this really, really nice indigo blue colour. It is a small size. I did find reference to this, and it does, I put it on the screen, it does come with a skirt as well. I assume you could buy the two pieces separately. The two piece with the skirt, this brand used to go for quite a lot of money, but seems to have calmed down now. But it's a really, really exceptional piece, nips in at the waist. The full suit is 120 euros, so I'm going to try and get 75 for this one. On its own, it's in excellent condition, fully lined. It's just a lovely piece. That label is so beautiful. It is giving the new series to Sex and the City, or I can't remember the name of it, Just Like That, or something like that. It's just about to come out, so I think people are really going to be pushing fashion boundaries, I find, when that comes out. This is just a chocolate brown. I actually thought it was, in the field, I thought it was black and had a bit of a fade. I didn't mind because it is new label, so it could only be so old. It's an extra small, but once again, it's sort of that boxy utilitarian fit in a chocolate brown. Just a really cute 25 to 30. Oh no, it hasn't come out. I thought it to come out. New label cos sells really well. This is old label cos, but it is velvet. It's got like a almost Peter Pan style collar. It's like very mod, short sleeved. It's just very classic piece. Another, I haven't pushed this one, 30 to 35, fully velvet in really good condition. This is a brand to look out for. Not too expensive of a retail price. However, it's very cool, and cool sells quickly. These are some like utilitarian trousers from Dams and Madder. They actually do sell them on ASOS for about 60 to 80 pounds. Size large. I think the lady actually wore these cinched in, but they're in that like utility cotton. I do have to change the button, but that shouldn't be too much of a big deal. And it's got this nice little patch on the front there. Another 30 to 35 based on style. This one I don't think we saw. It's a linen wool blend. It is a balloon cocoon skirt from Eileen Fisher. I love picking up Eileen Fisher, the American brand. I just love picking it up. It's my favourite. It's a size large. It's a really good size, fully lined. It has this big, there's literally grass on it. It has this big puffball hem. It's very much giving Vivienne Westwood. So the style itself will sell by itself. Does that make sense? I sold a Eileen Fisher cardigan recently for 110, so I'm hoping to do similar money with this, actually pushing 150. Retail would have been high 200s. So I'm very happy with that piece. And last but not least, these do have wear. They do have distressing, but they are vintage. They're the striped denim vintage French style workwear. These ones are made in China, but they've got the really distinctive pinstriping in blue and white. Austin tried these on. They are women's, but Austin tried them on, and they would fit a size large women. They're very generous. I even love the attachments. So I just wanted to show you what I got from that lady. It's so nice finding someone who has a lot of different pieces, personal, and who dresses particularly well. So I was really excited to pick up those pieces.
That was a heck of a detailed description, Bethany.
It was a beautiful musical interlude.
The music was your vocal cords.
I thought I'd hit a second Louis at this point, and I hadn't. It was hiding under something. Please give me some credit.
It was indeed. No, it was.
What's his patent leather called from Louis?
Vernier.
And it is prone to sun damage, marking.
Like that, yeah.
Is actually, it's not terrible. I actually love it, but it is very what's the word, damage prone.
Yeah, it was even, to be fair, even the actual colour of the leather and the fact the leather had kind of worn a certain way. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad knockoff at all.
Yeah, side note, it wasn't authentic.
No.
I did stumble across this stall though. This man's here quite regularly. So this is where I found one of my favourite purchases of the day. This is a Mulberry champagne bottle. It probably would have been used at some of their racing events or team events.
A champagne spray.
You
mentioned on our stories on Instagram a certain way of squirting the champagne, and people took note. So,
yes.
Yep.
I paid £1. We also picked up a key ring from the same man from Mulberry. He did have some diary inserts and things like that, which are great to pick up from the brand. I just have 16,000 of them that I haven't listed yet. And if I pick up another one, I may crawl into a hole and
Side
die.
note, if you own any size Mulberry agenda diary or anything like that and you'd like inserts, please contact us. We have several thousand.
You do show the key
there
ring
it is.
briefly here. It's one of it's an interlock, like it's a proper like padlocky one.
Yeah, it hangs from your keys. It's actually really weighty. It weighs a lot, so they're really, really good.
We used to have one of those actually, didn't we?
We actually sold a third of the 3 we had recently a few days ago. The heart key rings. They go really well. They go really fast. They go for really good money.
I'd just like to highlight that man's wheel cover on the back of his van. If you saw it, you saw it.
If you didn't rewind.
Yeah, enjoy that one. And a pile of hats. I think this is maybe my last find, but I was very excited about this one. This is as well as a shot of Ossing's gorgeous pins.
Look at those beautiful sandals, though.
Grantham, if anyone wants to know. I found an aloe yoga hat. Aloe yoga hats retail for about £40. Great thing to look out for. Would expect about 25 back from that one.
I'm not a guy who buys a lot of kind of tech to resell, but this actual Bang & Olufsen
luxury tech.
I was just going to say, it is very luxury. They retail for about £250. They're basically like a fancy Alexa, if you want. They do a lot more. They sound a lot better. But this was an empty box.
Yeah, which was
I was sad.
I pointed out, I thought I'd done a good thing. I thought I'd finally achieved greatness with the electronic section.
Yep.
I had
not so much.
We went back to the store very briefly. There was a Sahara like caftan dress, but had pulling along the front. That is my inspection face for anyone wondering. That was a really
I'm laughing because it totally is your inspection face.
That was a really nice jacket behind. If you can see, it's like an Afghan crochet knit jacket.
Birmingham Wolf.
People are gonna really, tell me off for missing out some of these things.
This was like 12 grand.
What
That Birmingham Wolf. That's what they'll say.
Probably. But I went back to get my top. Anyway, I did also find on that stall, which I think is vitally important, and the most important thing I found all day. And do you know what? I didn't record it.
What?
I was desperate to show the folks at home my
hat stand. Bethany has a thing about hats, as you all know, and now she's had a thing about hat stands for her hats, and it's becoming a problem.
I really want the just plain wooden ones, probably vintage if you can.
Bethany's currently working on a hat room, and I'm not joking.
Yeah, with the round tops, so they sit perfectly under my hats. I don't want heads. I don't want anything like that. I want vintage hat stands.
Just a side note as well, you mentioned that we almost found another Louis bag. In actual fact, we did find another Louis bag, and this one was caught on camera. We will be producing the video in the next 1 or 2 days.
I wasn't going to tell the folks. It was going to be a
I'm going to tell them. Well, they'll be surprised when they see it. How about that? How about them apples?
How about those apples?
If you've already seen on Instagram, there's no surprise anyway. Check our Instagram out. You can see it live and in living colour. Bye.